everyone, it's Chammies here, and today I'm going to be showing you all how I curl my hair. The tool I use is this magic wand. It's called the Infinity Pro by Conair, and so it has different heating settings here. This one has 310, 330, 360, 400, and I usually just do 400s. I'm like, I'm trying to get it to work fast and quick. So first thing I'm doing is section off like the bangs, and basically you want to grab like all the top layer here basically. See, now I just have the longest layers of the bottom one, so you want to do those first. So then you just want to put it up in a bun or pony, whatever, just as long as this hair you have won't get mixed up with the bottom hair pieces that you're about to do. And then wait and see, check. Be very careful, it's very hot. I've definitely burnt myself a couple times. I like to start with the front pieces here and then work my way back. So I can wrap this around and get it as close as fun. I generally do it facing away. Okay, I probably could have held that a bit longer, but for now I can see. Since I did, like, if you grab a thin piece, then obviously it'll make a bit tighter curls. And it'll also, the longer you hold it, hopefully, the longer it should stay, like the curl. Or like also the tighter it'll be. So I usually hold it for just a couple seconds because I don't like my curls to be super tight. I kind of like the more loose, wavy looking ones. Like, I really like after you curl it and you wake up the next morning and you have like the nice kind of wavier look, a natural look. I always like that one. Now that I've done the bottom pieces, I'm going to put these in the back now. I'm done with them. Now I'm going to, basically it's just like doing different layers each time. So now I'm going to grab the next set of top layers, leaving the very bottom layers. So I'm trying to grab this top layer. So this is the top, most of the top layer here. And the rest of it, and again the same pattern of just putting it up like this. And then again, we'll just do the same thing. We're going to start at the front layer, and just go behind the hair, curl back, and then you wait for a couple seconds. See how that one was thin, so it made a lot tighter curl because that was a thinner piece. So now that I finished with that, again, that same process. God, I feel like a teacher. You guessed it, we're doing that same thing again. Okay, so now undo that. Wow, oops, I did one part. That follows me. Okay. I think I'll do one more layer section off before I start just doing the rest of it, because there's still quite a bit of hair. Like, yeah, when I was younger, it was so interesting, just like how people had different hair purposes, because I remember watching the bloggers, and I really wanted to get my hair thinned. Then my mom was like, no, don't do that, Carolyn, like your hair looks so nice. Like, a lot of people like would love to have your thick hair. I'm like, they would? So I'm like, everyone online, at least in the early 2000s, was like, yeah, it's all about that thin hair. Like a lot of the Asians, I think it was because a lot of Asians that I saw online tended to have really, really thin hair. So I thought that was like the way. I'm like, oh, is that what's like pretty? Yeah, of course, it's a whole nother topic of video, but it's like the white beauty standards that have been imposed upon like Americans, and then also somehow across the whole world. Well, I know how colonization. So a lot of people really like white people consider beautiful, but then it's really annoying because it's a whole kind of white people stealing POC people's stuff and like, this is beautiful now if it's on me, but if it's on you, it ain't beautiful. Example, dreads. If a white person has dreads, oh, it's so cool, edgy, artsy. But if a black person has dreads, that is inappropriate. Take that back home. We don't want that at work. It's like, what the actual fuck? And like most recently, I saw this thing about fox eyes. I'm like, fucking A. So like for Asians, like they have been made fun of a lot for like our smaller, squintier, slantier eyes, and like I have been made fun of for that, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's that, and now it's a trend on TikTok. It's like, yeah, let's do the fox eye trend, where it's like, I don't know if they put tape on or what, but they somehow like really make their eyes look squinty with like cat eyes, and then they like put tape on to make it look more like a monolid or something. I didn't really want to look because it made me mad. When I was young, so right now I'm a brand strategist, and what kind of got me into advertising and branding was that when I was younger, ever since like I was like 4 or 5, girls are impressionable, we know that, like kids in general, we can tell when shit ain't right, like we can pick up on things. So I was like, why do you like all like I mean I felt for too. I wanted to be like the pretty white girls too, and I always thought like one of my friends, I was like, oh wow, she gets so much attention, everyone really likes her, like why can't I look like her, like whatever. So anyway, I was just so sad because it's like since from like when I was 5 to now, still of course I hear people talk about girls especially, but guys too. It's like talk about how they can't live up to the beauty standards, like they don't feel pretty, they feel ugly because this is this, like oh I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I don't have enough of this, I have too much of this, and it's like oh my god, like all these people are beautiful, like everyone has their own beauty, and I believe that. It's like everyone will find like someone out there will find you attractive, and also like of course your attractiveness wouldn't come from someone else, it come from yourself, believing that you're beautiful. But also the idea that like, you know, it's just so hard to watch people you love and care about, and you see so much beauty and strength within them and they don't see it, and it brings them down. And it's so hard because like you want to tell them, but those are things that have to come from inside yourself. Like just me telling you you're beautiful, I know that's like not going to change your mind. So because I just said it, like it's from within. It's not just like yeah one person's gonna say it, and like just because everyone else thinks you're beautiful doesn't mean you think so. It's kind of like a lot of there's just so much pressure out there for us to look a certain way and like attain these ideals that Photoshop didn't help at all, because it's like oh great, now we're making people who don't even exist, like what the F, and like erasing pimples and stuff. And like I don't know, for me personally, I think like it's okay to like get a good angle and makeup and stuff, but maybe like if you did use an app or something, it's like let people know like hey I use the app, I just not really what I look like all the time, like you know pictures. Obviously you can edit your pictures as I do, of course, to get good angles to look a certain way. So just to warn people like hey that's what it is, and maybe sometimes show yourself regular, like hey this is what I look like normal, so I'm not always looking like that other one. But yeah, that's just like a little rant on the beauty standards. Oh, but anyway, I totally off topic. I was saying I was going into advertising because I wanted to change that. I wanted there to be more diversity in advertising, of body size, of skin type, of race, color, eye shape, all that stuff, so that I could pick who got to go on the pictures, because I was tired of seeing people that like didn't look like or represent the whole of America, and also to like use my advertising skills to help causes that raise awareness of like hey girls and boys and people of all the peoples, like this is not really what people look like, and that like there's so much stuff that can come from beauty. Like beauty can come from within, it can come beauty should come from within, not from external validation. And like I've heard this other thought camp where it's like we shouldn't even care about beauty as a thing. Like some people are like oh maybe we just shouldn't put like positive or negative value, because obviously there's like pretty privilege, which is a thing, it's true. Like if you're pretty, considered pretty in society, like you'll be afforded more privileges than other people who aren't. This is what it looks like curled. So yeah, so this is what I meant at the end, where you can kind of look at it and see, like you can put your hands through so that it's a little less tight if you want, if you don't like the really tight curls. And then a lot of people put like a setting spray or whatever on it, but I don't usually do that because I'm gonna sleep in it, and I'm gonna like sleeping in the spray that I put on my hair, so I've done that before. So I'm gonna just let it be, and then I usually go through and look for any really straight pieces, because sometimes I usually miss like a chunk. Well, kind of like I somehow did this time. Ooh. But yeah, I try to look, see if there's any pieces that are super straight that I might want to make more wavy. The back usually is a bit like right here. It's not super wavy, so I might go back with this and just get a little bit on here. I think it's a little more love there, a little more heat. I think it's fine. Oh, there's it. See, this piece is very straight. I definitely did not curl that one, so I missed one. So I'm just gonna grab it, reach it, go. Oh, ow. Go back out and get it. Music in here, I think you just hear my music overlay. I'm trying to see here. That's good. This is from the back. See it? So recently I've been playing around with clips a lot. I've been liking them. It's early 2000s is freaking coming back, and I'm okay with that. The clothes are comfy and cute. I dig it. Okay. I like it. That's cute. You really love yourself, and like, and not just your outside, but I mean you truly love inside who you are. And I know that takes a lot of work to get to a point of self-love where you truly, truly, unconditionally, like, unequivocally love yourself and love yourself enough to improve, to always be improving, and love yourself enough to know and be a friend to yourself. Like, be your own best friend. It honestly sounds cheesy, but it really, really helps. Like, it helped me so much when I started thinking, like, well, okay, if I start having thoughts about myself, like, oh, you're such a dumb, such a dumb bitch, like, you're so stupid, like, why did you do that? But then I think, hold up, wait a minute, and where are those words? Hold up, like, what am I doing? Back it up, and then I'm like, wait, let me imagine this or something else. My friend calls me, oh, I'm such a dumb bitch, like, I'm so stupid, why did I do that? What would I do? I would say, hey, like, please don't talk to yourself like that. Like, I know it's hard not to because sometimes we feel like we make mistakes, and sometimes we do. But we gotta just tell ourselves, like, hey, we did something, and we made a mistake, and we learned from it, and that's the important part. And if you need to right or wrong, like, say sorry to someone if you did something wrong, then you can do that. But just because you made a mistake, we're all human beings, and it doesn't mean that you're dumb or stupid. It just means you might have made a stupid mistake. Sure, who hasn't? But that doesn't mean that we ourselves are stupid and we shouldn't talk to ourselves so rudely, because hopefully you would never talk to a friend like that. So please don't talk to yourself like that. Like, extend the compassion you give to your friends and other people to yourself, because you're a person too. Arguably the most important person, like, is yourself, to yourself. Like, my most priority is me, which I'm working on, because I say that now, but if you know me, you know that sometimes I'm like, oh, sometimes I like to do a lot for other people, like I forget myself, but that's a whole other video. But in conclusion, I just think that the world would just be a lot greater place if we all could learn to love ourselves. I know there's so many factors going into forcing ourselves, trying to make us not like each other, so many things, but if you can try to get through, work through it, like, know that I'm here for you, I got you, I believe in you, and I know that you will get there eventually. And it does just feel like a huge weight lifted off your shoulders to know that you got your back, you're gonna take care of yourself, like, you're your own best friend, like, forever, for life, because you literally are for life. You really can't separate from yourself unless someone's figured that out. Let me know. Not that I want to do it since I'm friends, but that would be interesting to learn about. But yeah, that's kind of a little random side rant thing. But yeah, I hope you all found this useful and stuff, and hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Say she moving to the baseline.